Hello, and welcome to Grow with Wisdom, the place where timeless life lessons meet modern understanding, where we learn to lead with empathy, grow with purpose, and speak with intention. Today's video carries a message that's close to the heart, one that highlights the silent power of our words and the deep respect owed to those who came before us. Our elders have weathered storms we'll never see and built the foundations we stand on today. But sometimes, without realizing it, a simple phrase or careless comment can wound them more than we imagine. This video isn't about blame, it's about awareness, growth, and kindness. So, let's take a mindful journey together and explore 7 things you should never say to a senior and why they hurt more than you think. Now, let's get started. Number 1, you already told me that. At first glance, this might seem like a small, harmless remark, just an honest reaction to hearing a story or memory repeated for the second or even third time. But for seniors, especially those experiencing memory lapses or early signs of cognitive decline, these words can cut deeply. Why it hurts. When you say, "You already told me that," you might be trying to point out the repetition. But to the person saying it again, that repetition often isn't intentional. It could be a cherished memory resurfacing or a simple lapse in recall. The moment they realize they've forgotten something or that they're repeating themselves can bring a wave of embarrassment, shame, or sadness. They may feel like they're losing control of their mind, which is one of the most frightening experiences for anyone. It also sends an unintended message you're not worth listening to twice. For someone who may already feel isolated or irrelevant, that message, however subtle, can amplify those emotions. It can make them withdraw, speak less, and feel like a burden in conversations they once enjoyed. But here's something to remember. The story they're repeating likely means something to them. It's tied to a moment of joy, pain, or pride. Listening to it again, really listening, isn't about information. It's about connection. What to say instead? Try saying something like, "That's a good story. I remember you mentioning it. It must mean a lot to you." Or even just nod, smile, and let them speak freely. These simple responses do more than avoid hurt. They affirm value. They say, "Your voice matters, even if I've heard it before." Remember this: sometimes the kindest thing we can offer is our presence, not our corrections. A moment of patience can become a moment of healing. In the end, listening isn't just hearing, it's honoring. If you're still watching this video and finding it helpful, drop a number 1 in the comments to show me you're with me. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's the time to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss any video that's all about supporting you. Your support means everything and helps us keep creating content that truly makes a difference. Number 2, you wouldn't understand. This phrase might roll off the tongue without much thought. Maybe you're talking about new technology, a recent trend, or a personal challenge, and you assume the person in front of you just won't get it. But when spoken to a senior, "you wouldn't understand" can do more harm than you realize. Why it hurts. At its core, this sentence is a barrier. It quietly says, "This world has moved on without you." Or worse, your input doesn't matter anymore. For someone who has spent a lifetime gaining wisdom through experience, raising families, working jobs, building communities, surviving hardships, being told they're out of touch can feel deeply demeaning. It also dismisses their ability to relate, even emotionally. You're not just telling them they lack technical knowledge, you're implying they lack understanding altogether, and that can be incredibly isolating. Seniors have lived through wars, political shifts, social revolutions, economic disasters, and personal trials. Just because their world looked different doesn't mean their insight isn't valuable. Often, their life experiences equip them with the very perspective we need, but overlook. What to say instead? Instead of shutting down the conversation, open it up with curiosity and respect. Try saying, "Here's what I've been thinking about. What's your perspective?" Or even, "I'd love to hear how things were in your time. How would you have handled something like this?" These invitations don't just validate their intelligence. They make them feel needed and appreciated. They remind them, and you, that understanding is not limited by age. You might be surprised at how much they do understand. In fact, they might even help you see your situation in a new light, one shaped by experience, not assumption. At Grow with Wisdom, we believe in building bridges between generations, not walls. Because when we stop assuming and start listening, we open the door to unexpected wisdom and deeper connection. Number 3, you're too old for that. This sentence may come out as a joke, a warning, or even what some believe is kind advice. But make no mistake, "You're too old for that" is one of the most limiting and damaging things you can say to a senior. Why it hurts. At its heart, this phrase sends a clear message: your time has passed. It tells them that certain dreams, adventures, hobbies, or even basic joys of life are no longer meant for them, simply because of their age. That kind of message can be soul-crushing. Seniors are often already dealing with physical limitations, changing roles, or losses in their social circles. Adding another invisible wall, one that says they shouldn't try, explore, or grow, only reinforces the idea that they are fading out of relevance. But here's the truth: age is not a deadline. It's a number, not a stop sign. History is filled with people who started businesses, wrote books, learned new skills, and found new love well into their 60s, 70s, or 80s. Passion doesn't retire, and neither does curiosity. And when a senior wants to try something new, whether it's dancing, learning a language, or using a smartphone, that spark should be encouraged, not extinguished. What to say instead? If you're concerned, express it with support, not limitation. Try saying, "That's awesome. What inspired you to give it a try?" Or, "Let me know how I can help. You've got this." These kinds of responses celebrate their courage and initiative. They say, "I see you not as someone fading, but someone evolving." At Grow with Wisdom, we believe in lifelong growth. We believe that as long as there's breath, there's purpose and possibility. Seniors don't need permission to live fully, but sometimes they need encouragement to remind them they still can. So, let's replace judgment with cheerleading and doubt with belief, because age should never be a reason to stop. It should be a reason to keep going with pride. Number 4, you're still working? Or why don't you just retire? This question might seem like polite curiosity or even concern for someone's well-being, but to many seniors, it can feel dismissive, even insulting. It implies that their time of contribution should be over, that they've somehow missed the cue to step aside. Why it hurts. For many older adults, working isn't just about money, it's about purpose. A career might give them structure, a sense of identity, or joy in doing what they love. To question their decision to keep working can unintentionally send the message, you should know when to quit. It's important to remember that retirement isn't a one-size-fits-all goal. Some people look forward to it eagerly, while others dread the loss of daily engagement, challenge, or connection. For some, continuing to work provides mental stimulation, social interaction, or financial stability. For others, it's a calling they never want to give up. When someone asks, "You're still working?" it often comes across as judgment masked as curiosity. It can make seniors feel like they're out of place, as though they've overstayed. They're welcome in a world that values youth over experience. What to say instead? Instead of questioning their choice, honor it. Try saying, "That's really inspiring. What keeps you passionate about your work?" Or, "I admire your energy and dedication. You have so much to offer." These responses show appreciation for their contributions and affirm their autonomy to choose what brings them fulfillment. You're not putting an expiration date on their usefulness. You're celebrating their continued value. At Grow with Wisdom, we believe that people don't stop having dreams, drive, or ambition just because they reach a certain age. Many seniors are at the height of their wisdom, skill, and purpose. They deserve admiration, not assumptions. So let's shift from "Why are you still working?" to "What inspires you to keep going?" Because true respect means honoring not just the years someone has lived, but how they choose to live them. Number 5, you're aging really fast, or you look tired. These kinds of comments may sound casual or even well-meaning, but underneath the surface, they can carry a sting that lingers far longer than intended. When said to a senior, phrases like "you're aging really fast" or "you look tired" shift the focus away from who they are, and instead spotlight something most of us already feel sensitive about: our appearance. Why it hurts. Aging is natural. It's something every human experiences, yet our culture often ties value to youth, energy, and appearance. When we say things like "you look tired" or point out how someone is aging, it can feel like a judgment, even if we didn't mean it that way. Many seniors are already navigating changes in their body, health, or energy. Some may be dealing with illnesses or medication side effects that impact how they look or feel. To have someone highlight those changes verbally can feel like a subtle rejection of their dignity. Even if it's wrapped in concern, these comments can make a person feel self-conscious, invisible, or less valued. They reduce a rich, evolving life into something superficial. What to say instead? Focus on what truly matters: the energy they bring, the light in their eyes, the warmth of their personality. Try saying, "You have such a calming presence," or "There's wisdom in your smile." These words affirm their humanity, their history, and the intangible beauty that comes with experience and resilience. They uplift rather than deflate. At Grow with Wisdom, we believe that beauty grows deeper with age, not fainter. Wrinkles tell stories. Tired eyes have seen both joy and sorrow. Every line etched into the face of a senior is a marker of life, lived fully. Let's move beyond the surface. Let's offer words that build self-esteem, spark joy, and reflect the true value of a person, not how rested or youthful they appear. Because in the end, people won't remember how we looked. They'll remember how we made them feel. Number 6, that's not how we do things anymore. This phrase might be said with the best intentions to explain how things have changed or evolved. But when directed at a senior, it can come across as dismissive. It's as if we're saying, "Your way doesn't matter anymore." And that can deeply hurt. Why it hurts? Our elders come from a different time, a different rhythm of life. They've adapted, innovated, and survived through wars, economic changes, and cultural shifts. The way they did things wasn't wrong. It was the best way with the knowledge, tools, and resources available at the time. When we respond to their input with, "That's not how we do things anymore," we unintentionally invalidate their experiences. It implies their wisdom is no longer useful, their habits are outdated, and their voice is no longer relevant in a world that seems to be moving on without them. But imagine how it feels to have spent decades mastering a skill, raising a family, running a business, or navigating life, and suddenly being told that everything you knew is obsolete. It can create a painful sense of disconnection and invisibility. What to say instead? Shift the tone from rejection to respect. Try saying, "That's an interesting approach. How did that work for you back then?" Or, "I've never thought of it that way. Tell me more." These phrases invite conversation. They show curiosity. And most importantly, they honor the person behind the idea, not just the idea itself. By doing so, we create space for generational wisdom to flow, not be shut down. At Grow with Wisdom, we believe that true progress isn't about erasing the past. It's about building on it. The innovations of today were built on the efforts of those who came before us. And when we take the time to listen, we often find that the old way still holds timeless truths. So let's replace dismissal with dialogue. Let's choose words that respect the road our elders have walked, even if we're now walking a different one. Because honoring the past helps us walk into the future with greater clarity, compassion, and connection. If you're still watching this video and finding it helpful, drop a number 6 in the comments to show me you're with me. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's the time to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss any video that's all about supporting you. Your support means everything and helps us keep creating content that truly makes a difference. Number 7, at your age, you should be. This phrase may be cloaked in concern or tradition, but it often comes off as prescriptive and condescending. Whether someone says, "At your age, you should be slowing down," or "You should stop traveling," or "You shouldn't be eating that," what they're really doing is placing a ceiling over someone else's life. Why it hurts? It assumes that age automatically dictates ability, ambition, or desire. But people don't all age the same way. Some seniors run marathons in their 70s. Others start painting or launch businesses after retirement. Some prefer quiet afternoons, while others crave adventure. When we say, "At your age, you should be," we reduce a person to a number instead of honoring the full spectrum of their humanity. It's a form of subtle ageism, a societal script that says, "You've had your time. Now, step aside." But here's the truth. Just because someone is older doesn't mean their dreams have expired. Their choices should still be theirs. They've earned that right through years of experience, resilience, and growth. To take that away, intentionally or not, can leave them feeling powerless, unheard, and boxed into expectations that don't fit. What to say instead? A more empowering question is, what brings you joy these days? This shifts the focus to the present, what matters to them, not what society says should matter. It opens space for them to speak from the heart, to share their passions, and to feel truly seen. At Grow with Wisdom, we believe that age should never be a cage. It should be a badge of freedom. A chapter where people can write their own stories with boldness, clarity, and purpose. Seniors don't need to be told what they should be doing. They need to be asked what lights them up, what keeps them going, and what dreams still whisper in their hearts. Let's allow them the dignity of choosing their own path, whether that means rocking chairs or rock climbing. Because the greatest Adventure of life doesn't end with age, it often begins anew with it. Now move on to the final thoughts. Words carry power, more than we often realize, especially when spoken to our seniors who have shaped the world we live in. They are far more than just older adults. They are living libraries filled with stories, lessons, and wisdom earned through a lifetime of experiences. They hold the keys to our culture, history, and family heritage. And above all, they are reflections of strength and resilience that inspire us to grow. At Grow with Wisdom, we believe kindness begins with awareness of how our words can heal or hurt. Change begins with honest, respectful conversations that bridge generations rather than divide them. When we choose to speak with empathy and intention, we create a ripple effect, uplifting not only the seniors in our lives, but also enriching ourselves. So before you say something to a senior, next time, pause and reflect. Ask yourself, is this respectful? Does this honor their journey? Does it uplift or wound? Because every interaction shapes how they feel, how they see themselves, and how society values them. Let's commit to being the generation that listens more, judges less, and speaks with genuine care. When we do that, we build a world where every voice is heard, every story cherished, and every person valued, no matter their age. Thank you so much for watching. If this video touched your heart or opened your eyes to the power of words, please take a moment to give it a thumbs up. Sharing it with someone who cares about their elders can make a real difference. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, Grow with Wisdom, and hit the notification bell so you never miss our videos, filled with inspiration, respect, and life lessons that help you grow every day. Until we meet again, remember to speak gently, listen deeply, and always grow with wisdom.